Good afternoon and welcome to yet another edition of Yes 101 Visual Radio, bringing you the news. I'm Mariam Ganavijaya.
And I'm Tilakaratna.
News First headline.
SJB moves no confidence motion against Speaker. United Petroleum Australia enters into Sri Lankan retail petroleum market. Taliban's new directive in course. Afghanistan cuts off women's voices from media. In sports, India beat England by 5 wickets, clinched Test series.
On to your lead story this hour, United Petroleum Australia Proprietary Limited has entered a contract with the Ministry of Power and Energy to supply petroleum products in the Sri Lankan retail market. Dr. Sulakshana Jayawardena, the Secretary of the Ministry of Power and Energy, representing the Government of Sri Lanka, and Eddie Hirsch, the owner of the United Petroleum Australia, signed the contract. According to a statement issued by United Petroleum Australia, the company was selected based on RFP issued by the Sri Lankan government to further liberalising the country's retail petroleum sector early last year. United Petroleum Australia Proprietary Limited is a leading petroleum trading company in Australia, owning over 500 fuel stations all over Australia's subcontinent. This is the first time the company expanded their retail petroleum business outside Australia. Now, United is planning to upgrade and uplift the standards of retail petroleum sector in Sri Lanka with the quality of product and services. The company is assigned 150 existing fuel stations around the country and has the right of building 50 new fuel stations under the ownership of United. United Petroleum Australia has also incorporated a company in Sri Lanka, that is United Petroleum Lanka Private Limited, to carry out the operations. Former board member of Sepetco, Dr. Prabhat Samarasinghe, has been assigned as the director and CEO of the company.
A vote of no confidence against the Speaker was initiated today by the Samagi Jana Balawega. The motion cites various reasons, including the Speaker's failure to appropriately present the amendments proposed by the Supreme Court for the Online Safety Bill before its passage. Now, a post on the opposition leader Sajith Premadas's Facebook page says the motion also accuses the Speaker of violating the Constitution, parliamentary standing orders and the privileges of parliamentarians, among other charges. Opposition leader Sajith Premadasa, parliamentarian M.A. Sumandiran, Chief Opposition Whip Lakshman Kiriyalla, Professor G.L. Piris, Tisatha Nayaka, Chandima Veerakodi, Shan Vijayalal De Silva and others have signed the motion on behalf of the Samagi Jana Balawega and the Samagi Jana Alliance.
International news.
In news overseas, the Taliban has prohibited women from making their voices heard through one of the most democratic channels available, that is the media. According to a report by the Afghanistan Journalist Center, an official letter signed by Abdul Rashid Murray, the Taliban security commander in the Khost province, outlines this directive. The letter explicitly warns media officials in Khost province that facilitating phone contact between girls and media organizations will result in summoning and legal repercussions. The Afghanistan Journalist Center has raised serious objections to this directive, expressing apprehension about its adverse effects on the operations of independent media. The organization has called for the revocation of this Taliban mandate, citing its inconsistency with the laws governing public media.
Sports news.
In sports, India beat England by 5 wickets in the 4th test to take an unassailable 3-1 lead in the 5-match series. Chasing 192 for victory, India reached the target in the 2nd session on day 4 of the match. The 5th and final test is scheduled in Dharamsala from the 7th of March. And with that, that's the end of Yes 101 Visual Radio for today. For the Newsfirst team, I'm Tilakaratna.
And I'm Mariam Ganavijaya. You can join us again on our prime time edition of Yes 101 Visual Radio later this evening.